Awaken God's Child YouTube channel. I am here with my co-host, Candy Nelson. And how's everyone doing tonight? Everyone doing good, I hope? Candy, how are you doing tonight, besides the pop-up, what it was just doing?
Well, it's been a long week trying to get ready for bike week, and I'm like, feel like I'm just running around in circles, I'm like getting nothing accomplished, and everything I made yesterday all flopped. So I'm like having to remake stuff that are trying to
Oh
fix stuff.
no, it all
Look at this
flopped.
beautiful tray. Look at this beautiful tray. It flopped out on me. Hold on. Can you see it?
Let me put you all the way up. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, that's pretty.
But it flopped out. So I'm
It's
like,
still pretty. I like that. Yeah, I wish I could have seen you while I was there. It was literally for 2 days. I thought about, honestly, because towards the last day I was about ready to just drive your way, because you were a little north of me, correct?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. So yeah, it ended up being a disaster, needless to say. So goes life. Anyways, so tonight we will be talking about Morgellons and the, I didn't change it. The spirit leeches is what I put.
Energy leeches.
Energy leeches. I didn't change it because we got sidetracked. We've been trying to get on here for a while tonight, guys. We really have.
Yeah.
So
They were trying to steal our energy.
Yeah, they did, because right now I'm exhausted. But it's funny because you call them energy leeches, and I've always called them soul leeches. And for whatever reason, I put spirit leeches. So I guess it's a happy medium. So with that said, there's a reason that we're talking about this. We all go through a lot of challenges with Morgellons, and even if you don't have Morgellons, there's stuff in life that is completely challenging for us, and no matter what it may be. And a lot of us feel that we are just being sucked dry as far as our energy goes and our well-being goes, that the world is demanding. And Candy, I know that you were speaking of that earlier with me, and I would like for you to kind of add what you were telling me earlier and how you feel about this, because it's a real deal.
Well, first of all, I can say for me personally, with having so many lesions and so much itching and not being able to sleep, and it's just like, and I was seeing like demons in the flesh, and it was like, oh my God, I was just walking around like in a trance-like state,
Yeah.
and there was nothing positive about me, and I was so bound and determined I was going to talk to people about Morgellons, but I did it in like a monotone type where it wasn't, I don't think most of the people were absorbing what I was trying to say, because my energy was like not there with it.
Yeah.
And it just kind of helped, it was hard because I just felt like I was dying inside, and I'm like trying so hard to speak up, and it's like I'm trying to be vocal, but I wasn't positive about it. So
Right.
I think the message that they received was, oh, that poor woman. I don't want people to think,
You
oh,
don't
that
want
poor woman.
that.
Yeah. So, and it's so hard, and then you try to help other people, and then, of course, they're in a negative state, and then the whole world around you, you turn on the TV, and it's like
That's a
everything's
negative
about,
state.
yeah, dividing people. The news, I can't even watch the news, because it's like, okay, it's like police brutality, people against the police, Black Lives
Russia.
Matter, back and forth between, resentment all the time. The Mexicans coming across the border, and the, uh, uh, just so much. And
It's
it's like,
always so
they just
much,
want
and
us
it's always
fighting
media.
each other all the time. Yeah, they just want us fighting each other. And
Yeah.
it's like,
They
it's
keep us
hard to get out
fighting.
of, yeah, and it's hard to get out of a negative state when you got all this negative energy everywhere you go and everybody you talk to, and then you
Yeah.
get into the Morgellons realm, and then you got people that are so depressed, and you're trying to help them, and they can actually take your energy from you.
That's
And
right.
it's hard because you got to learn that balance, and trying to say, okay, wait a minute. Yes, I want to help you, but if you're not doing something to help yourself and you're not comprehending what I'm saying, I don't have that energy to give you. So
Exactly.
you have to like try to find something positive. There's always something to be thankful for. I mean, I was just talking to somebody tonight. I was like, when they were asking me, it's like, okay, well, he's in Texas actually, or um, and it's like, we're in Texas. I need to wear shorts. I haven't been able to wear shorts. I was like, well, I tell you what, I
Wear
wore
those
shorts
shorts.
for the first time in 15 years, back in August, and I
Wear
was
those
like,
shorts.
it was the greatest thing to me, just the
Yeah,
little things that you need to find the joy in. Because me
you're
going out in
right.
public in a pair of shorts for the first time in 15 years, and I mean, I was like, I didn't care about the scars. I just know I didn't have those
Exactly.
bloody lesions anymore or the
You know,
rashes.
that's so funny you say that. Like last night, I was sitting there in my room and I was saying some prayers for friends and those of us, that feel like we're hurt and suffering and hurting inside. And it's not just from illness, but it hit me like a ton of bricks that this is probably the biggest blessing I've ever had, in the sense that I had to lose everything to find myself and to find the importance of life and its substance, which I kind of want to think I always knew it, but not in the depth that I do now.
Your
I
voice,
am
your
alone.
voice
I
is
don't have a
dragging.
husband.
Your
I can
voice
be
is
alone.
dragging really bad, Lisa. Lisa,
Is
your voice
it?
is dragging out really bad. Yeah.
Okay. And I've tried the hot spot. I'm on the hot spot now. It has full here, but the weather's not real good, but I have full bars. So I'm gonna give my best here. What I was saying is I had to be alone, and it showed me how to appreciate so much and love deeper and deeply and give freely. I mean, I always had to an extent, but not like I do now. I hope I'm not dragging, guys. I'm sorry I want to drag on this. So, come on, it's your turn.
Well, I mean, it's just like I said, when you got all the negative, it's like every which way you turn, and then you're trying to stand up and be positive, and it's like then it's so hard. And then when you have people that you love and people that love you and they don't understand, and it's like you're trying to reach out, and it's like all you're getting is like eyes rolled at and smirked at and laughed at and called names, and it's like it's just like,
Painful.
yeah. And well, and again, it takes that energy.
It depletes it big time. Yes.
Yeah. And so then what you do is you wind up in this rabbit hole to the pits of hell, and trying to crawl back out of that again. It's like,
They're coming
dang,
at us,
man.
the Wicked Witch of the West this time.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I mean, it does. It can bring your whole outlook down as well. And it's easy to do, guys. So we got to remember that we've got to lift each other up constantly and try our best to see the bright side of life, even though it looks bleak and it feels bleak. We get that. We get that more than anyone.
But
But we have to try.
you also need to know when to respect your own boundaries. And when you're trying to do something and it's like you feel that negative energy being put on you and you're like absorbing it, it's like you have to be able to say, no, no, stop here right now. I'm drawing the line, and
Yeah,
it's hard to do when people need you.
it is. It is. It's funny. It really is hard to do. But sometimes I think like, isn't it better maybe to say no sometimes and just like I can't right now than to have it deplete you of your energy and make you in a more negative mood and outlook to where you start also bringing others down. I think sometimes we do have to draw that line for ourselves. It's really important because Not just bring the whole army down, and we don't want to do that either. Can you hear me dragging still? I'm a
Yes.
drag.
Yeah, you're drag queen tonight.
I go me. Yep, I would love to try that. Actually, that'd be fun. Do I do it now since I'm dragging? Just kidding. I don't need a drag. I am a drag sometimes.
Hey, you're a dragon, dragon.
I am. I can breathe fire if I want to.
Exactly.
I'm like, I don't get mad. I just breathe on you like a dragon and I just burn you out. I'm just kidding. There was this week, actually, I wanted to do that to someone, and that's bad. But when I flew to Florida, I had to go help because I had a friend from high school that passed away. And ironically, her brother was someone I had dated in high school. Can we say aquatic already? That was talk about depleting my energy. I was on that flight back home within 2 days. It was so bad. So bad. And guys, some days you're gonna have friends that never grow up or get past high school. I'm just saying. So I just experienced that. I'm like, are we really doing this? So, and it was such a tragic reason to be there anyway. And the focus should have been just on the loss of a life. And she was a beautiful soul. She really was. So, and I just wanted my candy because I'm like, in Florida, I'm going to go to her. But luckily, I got like a flight. I didn't have to wait around because I literally would have come to see you. And I've been like surprised to be like, I hate surprises. Why are you doing this to me? Because we talked about that. I hate surprises. So,
hey, I wouldn't even care. I'd be like, oh, well, my house is a mess and I got stuff everywhere, but come on in.
you know, that's how I was when you came to see. I was like, I don't care. And we had talked about it for months that you were coming, and my house was still a mess. But you know, when you have Morgellons, you understand that the priorities completely switch. You know, they're just no longer that important anymore. That your house doesn't have to be in order per se. Yeah, we're clean, but maybe not in order, because I can't even remember where the sugar goes sometimes. Oh yeah, the sugar that you shouldn't eat too. So,
Hey, I tell everybody, my dust bunnies have claws and fangs.
mine for sure do. I think they're called Morgellons, though, Candy. I'm not really sure, but I'm sure that's what they have a name, I guess. Somebody gave them, but they bite. So.
Yeah, and on a good day they'll growl at you.
That is true, though. Actually, have you ever heard? And I'm just curious, just bringing this up. Have you ever heard any noises come from the actual Morgellons or the I don't really want to know what we want to call them, the things in our bodies. Have you ever heard noises out of them ever?
Yeah, yes, I have, and I actually did a video of this. There was like I had some batteries laying on the coffee table, and there was a couple of fibers stuck on them, and it was like popping. Well, it was popping and zapping, and I'm like, I'm sitting there watching the fibers.
Oh yeah, the electrocution. Yeah, I heard that little because I had and they don't burn. Try that, but I heard this like this high pitched scream. I'm like, burn, mother truck, burn! Scream some more, and I'm like, man, I am psychotic right now saying something like that. But you would understand because I know you understand. So,
well, but you know what? The greatest day in my life was I got 2 air purifiers, and I put them in my living room. Put one on one side of the room, one on the other, and I'm sitting on the couch, and I swear to goodness, it was like, oh, pure heaven out here. Pew, pop, pop, poof. It's like a bug zapper, man. I listened to that for a week, and I was like,
you're dying. I know there's
like I said, it was like one of those bug zappers.
Yeah, sounds really morbid, but I mean, it's true. There's not a better feeling in the morning when you know they're dying. You just know these things are dying. I'm a trucker. It's putting us through.
Hey, and for the people that don't have one of those, right? Or if you can't afford to get one, you can take a regular 20 by 20 box fan and put a 20 by 20 filter on the back of it. My friend Rick told me about this, and you just take some bread ties or tie wraps, put the filter on the back of a fan, and then you just turn it on, and what it does is it sucks the fibers into the filter from the back of the fan.
That's funny.
And
I think I've done that, actually. I had a cardboard kind of a, well, it was not cardboard, but it was like mesh. Yeah, that's a good idea too. But I had a bug zapper that, like they look like tennis rackets. And by the way, hello, in it to win it, it's here with us. Nice to see you here. Thank you. But like, have you seen the bug zappers that are like tennis rackets? I mean, they literally look like a tennis racket, and you can just swat at them in the air or whatever. No joke. I had one. I wore it. I mean, it's no longer, but I mean, just like I put it through the air outside at night, and you could just hear a zillion million little zap, 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 zap everywhere. And of course, I saw myself, and it zapped me too. But I mean, it was the best feeling in the world, because even though I so to speak, I'm like, I die, and they're dying. So
Hey,
I need another one.
when you walk outside, you can always hold it over your face like romper room.
I did. I had those big caps on. I'm like, here we go. Like, I mean, I had it like, because I was afraid I was going to inhale them. Like, whenever this first happened, I was terrified to go outside, to touch carpet, to have my clothes touch me. I mean, lucky you guys didn't see me go streaking through the whole freaking neighborhood butt naked, going, they're on me. They're on me. It does make us look
You're
crazy.
dragging.
I get it.
You're dragging again. Yeah, you're
I'm
dragging
so
out again.
Okay, I'm gonna let you take over, because I don't.
Well,
want
we talk about the negative energy. Like, there was times I was so much stuff. I mean, I was hypersensitive, so I could walk outside, and every single dadgum time, man, I'd get on my top step and I'd go to walk down the step, and every single time there'd be like a cobweb across the damn floor trail. And I always walk into it and hit it right in my face or in my mouth. And
yes,
every single time.
It's always there, it seems like.
Or I'd like go down the steps, and as soon as a fiber would hit my skin, I'd feel it immediately.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm like, it just
that
keeps you like
or something. It's weird.
It's like you're hyper-vigilant.
Yeah.
It's like you're hyper vigilant to everything, and of course that creates that negative energy again, because it's like, or you walk outside and you look up in the sky and it's completely covered in chem hell. You know?
Yeah, con artist spells. Con artist spells
I can't
everywhere.
go nowhere in this.
Exactly.
So many times I turn around and ran back in the house and slammed the door,
Well, speaking of those, I know a lot of us, and I've spoken to, I guess I should put myself up here. If I drag, I drag. But speaking of the con artist trails, I have been one that constantly gets the X's over, like when you look up and then there's an X, a con artist trail here and a con artist trail there, like over you. And I have spoken with so many that have those X's over them, which is so weird. It's almost like a synchronicity thing. But I mean, half the Morgellons people I talk to, you don't hear me. Man. Okay. So.
This means you're dragging.
Oh, I'm dragging. Like, that means I'm dragging. Okay. All right. I'm going to let you talk, because the weather's crazy here. So, you go.
Am I dragging? Can somebody comment
and
say if they hear Lisa dragging, or if I'm just hearing it? Or am I dragging too? My voice?
No, yours is good, Candy. I think it's me.
Yeah.
But leave a comment there in the chat saying whether you can hear us or who's doing what, or can you see me picking my nose? No, I'm just kidding. Can you see me picking my nose? Not really. But I mean, I could.
Get my bug zapper. I see you.
Can you hear us okay? Hopefully they're still there.
Yeah.
Well, you go on. You go on, because we got much to say here, so we always do. So you are getting ready for your bike week, right? So do you have any problems when you're outdoors with that? Does it bother you? Because you have an outdoor booth, right?
Yeah, I have an outdoor booth. But they're really good to me there. I mean, they let me hook up close to the power. I have a big fan, so got plenty of air. And a lot of times, like friends and employees will come out and say, hey, you need anything, you need to go to the bathroom, whatever.
That's
And then
good.
plus I have friends that set up booths too. And, if I need to step away for a minute, I was like, can you just keep an eye on this a minute? Sure, no problem, so.
Yeah.
But,
Hey, David, thank you. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. He says it sounds good, but he says, we're breaking up now a bit. Yes, sounds good though. So it is me, and I think it's the weather here. And I'm using my hotspot because the internet was no bars. I've got full bars, but we're talking about Morgellons. Thank you, David. Thank you very much. So, Candy, you're gonna have to take it away tonight because I am breaking up. Breaking up is hard to do, man. Yes,
okay.
I've done that a few times. That's probably why I'm single. So,
Well, and again, I will put this in the comments. Remember when I was telling you, and I shared this with you before, where they did that presentation at Berkeley Institute where they were talking about nanotechnology, and I forget what the title of it was right now, but I will find it and I will share it. But there'll be spaces in between the www and the .com or whatever it is that you'll have to because it won't let me do it any other way. But the guy that's doing the presentation, oh my God, that thing is so evil. And they show pictures of different types of samples of nanotechnology. And I'm like, oh my God, I got a picture just like that. Oh, I got a picture just like that. And I
yeah.
actually went through the video and I screenshotted their photos and then put my photos of my exact same thing right behind it. And I went out on Facebook and posted one the two right alongside of each other. And they even say, the guy even in the presentation, he says that they're harvesting energy is what they're doing.
Heck yeah, they thrive off of energy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the graphene and the black goo and all that. I mean, literally electromagnetic and energy hogs or leeches, energy leeches, just like we said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. Hold on, I'm gonna try to pull one up here, but you keep talking, and I am gonna try to pull this. And I just saw the other day, Sue from Surreal. Well, it used to be Surreal Reality Check. I think she had to rename it. I'm gonna find it for you all though, because she has a great one on black goo and whatnot. And I call it black goo goo, so the algorithm likes it. It's black goo goo.
Well, being on my cell phone and I cannot see the comments at all. That's why I like being on my computer, but it was getting wonky-fied tonight, so it was not working with us tonight.
Yeah,
I mean,
I read the ones that are there right now. We have David and then In It to Win It with us right now. Can't really, let's see. We have 7 watching, so hello to the other out there that we haven't heard from. We're glad you're here. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to try to pull this video up. So let me see if I can find it. But what do you know about the black goo goo? I mean,
me?
yes.
Well,
what are your thoughts on that?
Well, they were always talking about black goo in the groups because I've been in the groups for years, and I was like, okay, my goo is not black, it's amber. I had amber goo.
What I think is that it changes color. I've seen it go clear.
Well, let me tell you what happened one time. I decided I was going to ingest one single drop of oregano oil in some water. Okay, don't do it. It about killed me. Okay.
Oh,
but anyway,
really?
just saying, and I'm sorry. I don't have no shame in this game.
Bad
But
deal.
when I did that, the next day, I had black goo coming out of my vaginal area.
Oh my goodness.
And that was the first time I had ever seen black goo from me. And I'm like, oh, that is just gross.
Wow. Well, see, that's what I think I first came into contact with when I contracted MD, whatever you want to call it, the Morgellons. That's what I really think got me. We had Hurricane Harvey go through, and I, of course, helped with a lot of the cleanup. And if I remember correctly, I mean, I had probably come into contact with it well before I ever noticed. But the one moment I can really clearly remember is it, down at the Brazos River. And again, it was right after Harvey. There's so much stuff that had washed up, and that, I could not get the, long story short, I thought it was tar or something. I could not get it off of my hands. And I had a friend, Gilbert, with me. Some of you guys have seen him on some of my other videos. He literally became possessed. I mean, I'm not lying, not joking. I couldn't make this up if I tried. The guy became possessed. This black tarry substance was all over him. And it was just the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen in my life. And I mean, I thought he was going to kill me for real. So I know that there's a lot of people out there that deal with that. That's the spiritual side of that. That's definitely there. I'm still trying to sign into my account here to try to show you guys this.
Another thing that I had with the black goo that happened one time was I was sitting here on my couch working on my little craft projects all day long. You know, wasn't a whole lot of stuff on the coffee table. And so, you know, I'm putting straight pin bowls back and forth and different craft stuff. And all of a sudden I look on my coffee table and there's this like black liquidy pile of stuff. And it was like, it's just gross. What is that? And so I looked up to the ceiling to see if anything was leaking out of the ceiling. There was nothing I had that was black, you know, on coffee or nothing. You know, and I'm like, there's a pile of this stuff on my wood coffee table. And I'm like, where the hell did that come from? And so I got a tissue and I kind of wiped it up and it was like, it was gooey. And I'm like, I just let it sit on the tissue. And the next day it got like hard by the next day. And it was like a flake of black goo. It had like crystallized.
See, I have to wonder if I mean, I want to say it's probably something ancient, you know. A lot of people say alien from elsewhere. I have to wonder if this hasn't been living within the depths of our earth since the beginning of time, you know. I mean, there's so many.
How does that just appear on the surface of a coffee table when you're sitting right here all day?
Well, I mean, somehow, I mean, I have to wonder if it didn't. That's true. That is true because, I mean, mine came from digging deep in the mud looking for artifacts. I mean, and again, I found some pretty crazy artifacts. I'm not gonna lie, like mind-blowing artifacts. I just, you know, there's something else going on. But then we have, you know, the graphene and all of these other, the nano, Morgellons.
No.
So, no. So we have that also, which we know we are capable of. But where did we get this technology from? You know, I mean, the ether is a very real thing. The internet and using the ether, which, you know, I've always understood that as dark matter. I mean, what are we really looking at here? What's going on? I cannot sign into this to save my life. I'm trying so hard to trying to sign us in so I can show you guys this video, but I'm gonna go ahead and take it from here, Candy, while I try to do this, because I'm sidetracking myself, honestly, which is pretty typical of me.
Okay, so anyway, back to the energy part. I was talking to somebody tonight that I just talked to for the first time ever, and I was the first person they've ever talked to about Morgellons. So we were talking about the energy part and about the night that I was on the floor being electrocuted. I mean, it was like my whole body was just being zapped, and I was like, I didn't know what in the hell's going on. That was the night I told you about. I hadn't cried in 10 years, you know, and it's like, and then like, you know, that's a whole different story. I call it no more tears in heaven. But the next morning when I got up, I had all these fibers sticking out of my arm. And so what it was the fibers were trying to push their way out the night before. And when I finally got enough relief, I guess they probably finally broke the skin at that point where I didn't even see it at that point. But, you know, I finally got enough relief where I was able to go to sleep. And, you know, I got all those tears out that night that I hadn't cried in 10 years.
Yeah.
And I woke up the next morning, I had these 3-4 inch fibers sticking out of my arm. So, you know, I'm like, okay, I knew something was happening there at that spot because I was being electrocuted, like in my wrist. That was the big one that was as big as a tennis ball. But I
Right.
could feel it shoot all the way up
Sorry.
my arm into my shoulder, and it was just electrocuting my whole entire body. And I'm zapping, I'm like laying on the floor, like almost convulsing because it hurts so bad. And
Yeah.
then the next day, there's those fibers.
And that's the crazy part. Okay, so I can't get my actual account because we're streaming on it.
Yeah.
So I signed into my other YouTube channel. That's just one I never use. And so I'm going to have a problem pulling that up. But I did find this one that, basically they're talking about how they got it from a river also. It's on like CNN, I think. But, just remember that the news channels tell you what they need or want you to hear, but they also have to tell you a little bit of the truth on everything because that's the way Satan works. And so I'm going to try to share that right now if I can. I'm going to do a window share here. So, all right, so let's just see if I can do this. And I don't know, I'm ready to put this up. I mean, it's nuts. It's crazy, the stuff that we're going through. And we have to wonder what the ultimate source is. All these fibers just sticking. I mean, what are they? Everyone wants to say it's mycelium, it's this, it's that. I don't get it. Like they have an intelligence to them. You know what I mean? And it's just strange because it's seen intelligence somehow. Okay, so let me see if this is working here. Unmuted, don't I? Everything's dragging here because I'm a drag. House is a drag. My internet's a drag. I hope you guys get
These are amazing creatures. They're jelly-like creatures. They're jelly-like creatures. They're not.
It's not even sounding. This is not even it. So, yeah, everything works against us. Let me tell you. All right, Candy, go ahead and take it from here because this is not. I mean, I don't think I have enough service for some reason, which doesn't make sense. I am literally showing full bars, no joke. So maybe I'll try to just do it from my iPhone right now. So, okay, so that's Candy on the strangeness to all that. I mean, there's an intelligence there, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I was talking about the that video with the when I was sewing, and that thread was just like, I mean, it was literally just attacking me. And then I was making some bows one time, and which requires you to leave a long string of thread, and then you pull it up, you gather it to make the bow part. Well, I'm trying to make these bows, and the thread was literally like engulfing my hands in the thread, and I'm like trying to like pull them off of each other, and I'm like, this is insanity. And it's an electrical component because that thread is genetically modified. So, and we have this genetic modification in us.
But what are they doing? Is it ancient? Is it alien? I mean, I ask myself this stuff all the time.
I think somebody dunked the wrong damn cookies in the wrong milk.
Sorry, yeah, somebody did. That's exactly what happened.
Somebody dumped the wrong cookies in sour milk. And then they don't want to admit it.
What happened.
Yeah, and they don't want to admit it because it's like, oh, well, we screwed up. Sorry.
Exactly.
And then what gets me, is here you got all these government agencies that's supposed to be out there protecting us, like the FDA and the CDC and the World Health Organization, and all
exactly.
And then you got the congressmen and the senators, and they're approving all this crap.
That's exactly right. They are, and it doesn't make any sense why. Why are they approving it? You know what I mean? I mean, I guess my questions they run deep. Like, why? And why now? Like, why is this just now? But I mean, I'm at the Brazos River, right? Like, I'm at the Brazos River. How am I coming into contact with something that was deep in the mud? Where did it come from? And the fibers were these artifacts that I pulled from the river. Excuse me, I have something in my eyeball. Probably an artifact. So, these artifacts that I was pulling from the river. I mean, I was digging. I have to dig for those, because they're going to be under layers and layers depending on what time period that what you're looking for was. So I just know that I had them in a bucket and I was going to go wash them off, and these fibers were all over. These, some would call them rocks, whatever you want to call it, coming out of these rocks, these artifacts, and sludge and slime, and you could just see them coming out, and it was filled with water. And I mean, I picked one up and I was like, wow, that's weird. And I was like, is that moving? And I put it back down real quick. And then I remember I went back, over to a different part of my yard. I was barefoot. I always walked barefoot up until like a few years ago. And I was walking across the yard and I looked, and one of these fibers shot. And I mean, it literally almost like pole vaulted itself into my foot, into my toe. And I mean, I didn't feel it. I was more petrified of what had just happened. But I looked through, and from there, I noticed they were all coming from a stream of artifacts. You could see them coming down the bucket. You could see them just like everywhere I had been with those, carrying them and washing them. And how did they get there so deep, deep in our earth? And I mean, I get that they're on the top too, but how'd they get down there? There's so much to this. It's like so many crazy things. It doesn't make sense how they would be. The Brazos River is a huge river, and we had Harvey, and it overflowed, of course, which could be part of it, but not really, because I had to dig into the banks. And I tell you, is they were coming out of these artifacts. And I found artifacts with like almost like a Hebrew looking language on it. I mean, so I've got them here. I found Mayan type artifacts. There's something really, really much deeper to this, I have to say. It's like, isn't it funny? You go down the rabbit hole, and then it's like every door opens up. It's like, it's this, it's that, and that, and it's pretty much everything. But I'm glad. Hi, Daryl Perrier. Hello, and Hot Darted Chick. Hello. Hello, guys. So what are your thoughts on that? And you guys in the chat, please tell us what your thoughts are on that. Any of you have that same experience?
Well, and another thing too, we're talking about the energy leeches. When you got these,
Hello.
You got these different people that have these different theories, and they're like trying to force it upon other people because you don't believe the same way that they believe.
Yeah, I had an experience with that this week.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, well, some people say Morgellons, some people say it's fungus, some people say it's parasitic, some people's like
I just call it bullshit. Like, that's what it is.
Pythiosis is the new thing. Then there's leishmaniasis, and it's like
Gorilla. Yeah, well, there's so much, but the thing is,
it's cancer.
It's so much more than that.
It's AIDS. It's this. It's that. It's the other. Well, guess what? It's tick-borne. Whatever.
From the con artist trails, it's everything.
Yeah. So it's like. So my point being is that when anyone tries to force you to believe the way that they believe, you better watch your energy level. You better watch your energy level, because they are energy leeches.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, it's like, no, you're not going to convince me something that I know to be different, And somebody asked me tonight, it's like, what is the most single important thing you could say to me that will help me? And I'm like, the most important thing is stand in your own truth. Stand in your own truth, because in the end, that is the only truth that matters. Nobody else.
Dang straight.
Yeah.
Dang straight, guys. I mean, use your heart. Let your heart guide you, but use your own eyes and ears. You don't have to go with what somebody else tells you. Because trust me, what you're experiencing is a very personal thing. It is upfront, close and personal that nobody else can really relate to on your level because we're all raised different, born different, grew up different. But that right there is unmistakable.
Well,
it's unmistakable. Like something going on.
Another thing too, when you have these people out here doing these YouTube videos and speaking out about Morgellons, and you can tell that their voices are almost robotic. It's monotone. And they're repeating the same thing that somebody else has said.
Like the CEH Foundation.
Yeah.
Almost
Yeah.
word for word.
Group. Or the CDC or anybody else. It doesn't matter. If they
haven't studied themselves.
If they are parroting someone else's data and not speaking and standing in their own truth, that data and that information, I'm sorry, it is twisted, and it's half truths are still a lie. So guess what? Just stand in your own damn truth and nobody's matters.
Use your own eyes, your own ears, follow your heart. It's not going to lie to you. And guess what? None of us have the answers.
Yeah,
we have a thought list. Lots of us have ideas, but no answers.
There's so many disinformation agents out there. They're deliberately putting information out to steer you in the narrative that they want you to follow.
Right. Hey, Candy, you have someone on here that says, hi, Candy. It's from Last Call Minister. And friend, it's Bobby, not your podcast. So, your friend Bobby?
I don't
says
know.
Hello.
Bobby? I can't see
well, the YouTube channel's Last Call Ministry or Ministry. I can't tell because my restream thing's covering it up.
I can't.
Ministry. Says it's Bobby having your podcast. So
I can't see it.
And I'm Lisa, by the way. I'm Lisa. I need to put that right there where it says Waking God's Child because that's my YouTube channel. But Candy, they love you. So everyone loves you, and I can see why. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman. I guess for also she's been down the road with this for a long time, and I trust everything she says. I do. And she would never try to force something down your throat or say, it is just a fungus. And people like you are just, you're ruining it for us all. I mean, okay, first of all, that's a very uneducated statement to the person that said that and whoever. Because if you have eyes and ears, you're just full of crap because it's not just that. Yes, it is
I cannot tell you how many times people got angry at me and it's like, oh, well, we want to get this recognized. And I'm like, okay, you're getting it recognized based on false information. So guess what? I cannot go along to get along because guess what? It is not in my damn nature. I am not doing that. Just because you want to get it recognized doesn't make it okay to live a lie.
Right. Candy, Minnesota Bobby. She said Minnesota Bobby? No, sorry, Last Call Ministries. I mean, we do have Morgellons, and we do get very, very bad brain fog.
Even if I know the person, even if it's the new person that I talked to tonight, I don't recognize their YouTube name that they log in on.
Well, the name is called Last Call Ministries, but this person's name is Bobby with an IE, like my grandmother was Bobby with an IE.
I know
and she says it's Minnesota Bobby with an IE.
Okay, I know who it is now. Hi, Bobby.
Okay. So nice to see all of you here. And Kat, I am. Nice to see you here too. And I know I'm cutting out. It's the way it always goes.
She's a dragon lady.
I'm a dragon. I am. I'm a dragon lady. That'd be kind of cool. I could blow fire on these mother truckers when they come out of me. I'm gonna die now.
Oh, burn, bitch, burn.
You're going down, dragon. Yeah. I do apologize. I tell you what's going on, and nobody ever believes me when I say when we talk about Morgellons disease, nano poisoning, or what this is that we have, but we have to say what it is. Some respect because that's how people find us and find help and find answers. Not that we have. When you have this, it seems like there's always an obstacle, whether it be streaming it. I mean, Candy couldn't get on here earlier. She was trying everything. We tried the cell phone. There's always an obstacle, and it is spiritual warfare. I mean, at its finest. That's the only way I can put it, but it's not for lack of like being professional. I'm not professional, but
my husband worked so hard to get that nice computer over there for me and that hard drive and that big screen, and it was like, ain't happening tonight.
Yeah. We got through it though.
Yeah, and he's not here.
So this is not a disease. You're so right, not a disease.
You hear me? So you got to suck on this one because he ain't here tonight.
There you go. You know what? I'm impressed. You did it all by yourself, though. You did good. You did really good. So yeah, I wasn't actually trying to get into a debate on what it is because I totally agree with what Kat's saying. This is not a disease. I don't feel it's a disease. Candy doesn't feel it's a disease. None of us feel it is. But somebody back in the day does that. And they're like, that's the only way people can go to and figure it out. I mean, we need to change this name. We do. I totally agree. Because it is. It's nano. It's bacteria. It's fungi. It's so many things. But I want to call it just bullshit. Can we just call it that? Because that's what it is. Not okay. It's completely wrong. And there is a monstrous side to this that spins you into an awakening of multiple levels and depth to where you realize it's not just Morgellons. It's not just UFOs. It's not just ghosts. It's not just ancient Egypt. It's a lot of, it's a rabbit hole. Yeah. It's a whole lot of rabbit for sure. But it's too much. We don't have the answers. I wish we did.
Well, and another thing too, you're talking about energy harvesting. All these people out there like push and say, "Oh, I want a cure for this," and let's do this petition to the CDC and the president, and they're gonna help us because we're American citizens. And I'm like,
wait, what does that CDC stand for again in Morgopedia?
Confused, dumbass criminals.
Cut to the dot, and you're welcome. Yeah. What they are. I sat there all night one night not knowing.
You're out there pushing this, trying to get signatures, trying to get likes on your YouTube and subscribers. And I'm like, what in the hell for? We've been at this for how long now? And how many times?
Someone comes in that's had it like 3 or 4 years and they're like, yeah, let's go get some signatures. That's good. Like, Candy's been at this 20 years. Some of us have been at this for a while. And don't you think that's already been done? I mean, come on.
I can't even count on both hands how many petitions I signed, begging for help.
Over and over. Yeah, and many of us have. And I mean, I appreciate it, but research a little deeper and talk to those that have had it longer. And you might understand that there's got to be a different avenue to this because you can go to the CDC, pick it with your sign. I have so much respect for you for doing that. However, don't you think it's already been done? I already said that, but I mean, we've been down this road, and there's got to be some answers definitely needed, and we definitely are owed that, but that's not going to do it. And that's not it. So, and Candy can tell you, I mean, she's done everything. Over 20 years. I mean, come on. How much more real does it get? A lot of people have like 3, 4 years, 5 years. Yeah, that's a long time. It's a long time, but it's not long enough to understand the things that coordinate with it and come afterwards, and the things that the avenue lifts because they're just not going anywhere. Well, so what do you say?
Well, I just feel like that, when I started, first of all, the first few years or so, several few years or so, I was like, why the hell is this happening to me? Why me, God? Why me? When I stopped asking why me, God, and said, why not me? I realized it made me realize that if I'm going to have to deal with this, it has to serve a greater purpose. I
Amen.
cannot sit back and keep my mouth shut and do nothing or beg.
Or no poor me's either. There's no poor
Yeah.
me's. Like, if we're going through this, guys, that means you guys too. If we're going through this, I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here and suffer and say poor. We are going to leave a mark, an imprint, and we are going to make a statement, and we are making some noise. And I encourage all of you to do that. Kat asked if you have a YouTube channel. This actually, Kat, Candy and I share this podcast, so this would be hers as well. So I just wanted to. Kat said her last 2 live streams got taken down, and she's I'm in screw tube gel right now. Can relate to that. I like that screw tube gel.
That's me on Facebook, right? I finally got out of Facebook jail, and
I've been kicked off so many times.
They still won't let me go live on live videos for like 90 days. And I'm like, oh,
this is why I'm like, finally, I'm like, okay, for algorithm purposes, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Well, and again,
and it sucks that we even have to do that.
Well, that affects your energy. And it's like I told you last week. Yep. I'm like, you know what? I got work to do anyway for Bike Week. And guess what? Y'all ain't fact checking me, and you ain't checking up on me. So
smack checking. No smack checking me, man. You know what? You turned something that could have been a negative to something very positive and productive. So kudos.
Well, I didn't get anything done, but it was a good thought.
It doesn't matter. Fart on them, whatever. Farts are funny. I don't care. I say that all the time, but they kind of are. I don't know why. It's like God couldn't have at least made us just maybe blow butterflies out of our ears that had a fresh fragrance. We have to fart. The Morgie fart now. Oh, you're in some trouble there. Yeah, I said that. You guys know all about that. I know you do. Don't play dumb. So, yeah, smack check that. All right, dear. Anything else you'd like to add? We're going on about an hour here. We have 12 viewers. Actually, I take that back. We have 17 viewers on right now. So I'm just glad you all are here. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. And
we love you guys.
We just we try to laugh and make it fun because, I mean, as twisted as it is, we can't give it that negative energy. So it's
doesn't deserve it.
It is going to be stupid and laugh about every damn thing. So
just picture me with butterflies coming out of my ears right now with a fresh smell of roses.
Hey, every time I see your face, I think about that video you did with the Morgie monster.
Morgie, you better stop. I don't have to. Yeah, I mean, I had to do that. I was hurting, and that was a bad moment in my life. I'm like, I'm not going to let this destroy me. I mean, I wasn't really hurting so bad. Obviously, I was just like, all these people out here going through this, we got to make some fun. We got to have some fun.
Yeah.
And it's important that we do, you guys, because we have to make the best of a situation that it is what it is.
Yeah.
Nobody was promised a fair, this in life. There was no promises of that. And yep, we want to think some people have it great, but I mean, I'd like to think that they're lacking the most important substances in life, which is this, your heart. People that seem to have everything are probably lacking most. And just remember, when you're brought to your knees, there's only one way left to go. And I mean, if the Lord can, get you this far, he can carry you through those valleys and bring you right back to the mountaintops, or you can shout it. And that's what you're meant to do. You're warriors, total warriors. So hello, Lee Smith. We got Lee Smith. She says it's hard to find this topic on YouTube. There are some channels, Lee. There are, it's not a lot that lead you in the right direction. What do you think, Candy? Can you have any advice for Lee Smith that talking about it's hard to find channels on YouTube? I mean, Harold Kotz, I think, was a great one, but I don't even find him anymore.
Well,
you go to my
you have to be careful because even on YouTube, it's like so many disinformation agents, it's like, oh my God, what did they just say? Don't make me come through that screen. But,
I'm coming over there.
But again, like I said, it's like once you fall down that rabbit hole of Morgellons, I literally just close my eyes and imagine myself just sticking my claws into the walls and just dragging myself back up again
No,
because
no, I won't go. I won't
yeah,
go. Yeah.
yeah, I'm
I mean,
fighting
we're
for my
warriors.
life. Yeah.
You know, I like you said, I'm like, why not me? I know so many people that could not ever get through this. Why not me? We've got the strength, guys. We got the strength, and we're not going through this for no reason. I refuse to believe that. And like I've always said, I believe wholeheartedly we're the ones spitting it out. I mean, look at the human behavior around you of doctors, the C to the D to the C, your families. Like, I mean, look at the behavior. It's just like 19 miles off, you know, in left field. It's got to tell you something. We're thinking clearly and rationally. We're not happy. We get a little spastic. I mean, freaking weird stuff happening to us, okay? But I mean, that's you look around. That's what's not normal. That's what's not normal. So I'm gonna own this. I'm glad. Thank
But
goodness.
you know what? And
You
it's
know,
it's not normal to see someone that you love and care about suffer so much and you
right?
act like it's no big deal and it's like, oh well, she's just making it
That's
up.
how you know there's
Excuse
something
me,
wrong.
that's not normal.
Yeah.
We're normal, okay? Because at least we
How I think the
recognize
fibers are in them because that's not normal. I came from a loving family.
we're the
Loving,
normal
like
ones
loving.
because
I would have
we
never
have
done that.
emotions. We feel pain. We express ourselves.
And they
They're
feel
just like,
nothing anymore.
yeah, and it's like, okay, they're the ones that's not normal. It's not us.
I mean, I'm telling you, they're affected. And we are, I will never, I mean, this came to my heart from day one when this happened to me, from day one. I am not joking. I never thought, oh no, I'm the only one, or this just, why is this happening? I always knew, like, when something's coming out of your body has these natural abilities to reject foreign substances that should not be there. I mean, it's plain as day. You know, some of you got like maybe ear piercing or belly button piercing, like your skin. You know, a lot of you like might know that your body rejects it. It'll push out anything that shouldn't be there. But this was made to be operated and accepted by the human body, which is why 90% of them have incorporated it and they say they're fine. But I mean, all I'm telling you is they now have an operating system in them that works fine, but that's working them fine. It is now operating them. So our bodies are not allowing this operating system to, you know, we're like, no, you're getting out. We were equipped like this. I don't know if it's a bloodline. I don't know what it is because we all have different types of blood. And I just know that maybe we just have the strength and we're needed for something bigger and greater that's coming. And look around, folks. Big things are happening. Big, big, big things. Not just volcanoes and earthquakes and noises in the sky and lights in the sky. I mean, Russia, nation will rise against nation. I mean, it's biblical. It is. And if you came to this channel and you want to absolutely not believe and not be able, you're probably at the wrong channel. But if you're open-minded, please stay because we are here with love and support, right? We embrace all of you, and God is so good, you guys, so good. Even though this seems awful, He's like, we're called upon. We got a job to do. I believe that. What do you think, Candy?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, it's like, okay, just didn't happen to certain people for no reason and not others. So guess what? We serve a greater purpose. And our purpose is to not sit back silently and let other people suffer that don't know. You know, it's like, how could you? I mean, yeah, I did it for a while, but then after I realized, wait a minute, that's the goal. When they call you
Love your
delusional
neighbor
or
as you love
crazy,
yourself.
yeah, when they call you delusional or crazy or you're doing this shit to yourself, it's like
I want to be if that's what it is.
anybody that is not, don't have the power to stand in their own truth, they're going to fear what other people's opinions are or what they have to say. So then they don't say anything. So then guess what? Other people are walking around with it. They don't even know they have it because you didn't say anything.
Exactly. And the whole world has it, but I mean, some people are hiding it because they're terrified to say something.
But
You hit the nail on it.
yeah, and I told
Literally.
you, it's like I have brought this stuff up to total strangers in the store, because
Yeah, you're effective too.
yeah, and I mean, it's like, okay, first of all, it doesn't matter if you talk to 1,000 people and 5 people listen. You
Right.
change something. You might not change it. Those 5
One
people might
life
not
is
change it.
enough, but imagine
But if those 5
thousands.
people talk to 1,000 more people and 20 listen, those 20 might be the ones to change it. It's
Amen.
like a ripple effect, and you have to take a part in it, or
You
get
have a
out of the way.
responsibility. You do.
Yeah, get
You
out of the
do.
way.
You're awake, you're aware, you're of sober mind. You have a responsibility. These people around us that deem us delusional or whatever, they're the ones sleeping. They're the ones missing. They're the ones absent. It's our job to find them. It's our job to help find them or help them find themselves. We have a responsibility. And hello, Sheila Koffel, and who do we have here? Last comment is to where it said we got browser 221 and Shuffle. It's covered by the other ones, but is that on Shuffle? I hope I said that right. I know I didn't. My apologies.
Yeah.
But hello, guys. I know you're here. You understand, right? You know you got a calling. You know that you are warriors. You are not going to lose this fight. You're not. You're spitting it out. You're spitting it out. I know you feel weak. I know you feel drained. I know your body hurts and your joints are achy. I know this. But praise the Lord, you're spitting it out, because I don't want to be the dummies around me. I don't want to be like that. I would rather hurt, be in pain every single day than be anything I've seen and also been treated by. And I know you guys feel that way. So hang on. Put your full armor on, guys. Your full armor. We're here for the fight. I'm in the fight, dang it.
And
I've been saying that now. Fight.
And another thing too, even with the doctors, and it's like I told you, I had to kiss a lot of frogs to get my princess, okay? But it's like, just because you talk to
That's
the
a good way to
first
put
one,
that.
yeah, just because the first 20, think you're delusional and you're crazy, that don't mean number 21's gonna think the same way. It's like
Never
you can't give up on them either. It's
That's
called
right.
perseverance and standing in your own truth no matter what.
That's exactly it. I say that every day. Persevere. That's right. You're so right. Like, we don't have a limited amount. Like, we don't draw the line there. Okay, I'm done. I put my fair share. There is no fair share, first and foremost. If you haven't figured it out, look what we're suffering with. But there is no such thing as fair share. Put your share in. Put more than your share in. Put all of your shares in. Put your whole flipping bet on the table, because you're going to come up with something big as far as winning, and it's not monetary. I mean, there's a reward. There's a reward coming, and it is a home that's eternal and blissful, and this isn't it. Like, to me, this is like hell on earth, right? It's okay, though. It's like but a minute second, even though it feels like forever. Just a little bit of time.
Hey, it's a stepping stone to the next level. Power up.
Power up. That's right, guys. Power up. I mean, and if you need to use us as power banks, we can do that. Just try not to deplete the batteries too, but just try to bring positive things forth. And I know, as I myself, human, I have had my days that it's just like, man, all I want to ever say is just negative. But I mean, I try not to bring that into other people's lives, because I know that when we're battling and fighting something so hard, that has a powerful effect. But I also know it has a more powerful effect when you bring something positive and happy and blessed or just encouraging. That effect lasts a lifetime. I mean, it does. So, and you show always listen to your spirit. God speaks to us and warns us and guides. Yes, I mean, absolutely. We are warned. We listen to your heart, because that God lives here, and He's not going to mislead us, or he, she, what, you know. I don't know. I'm not even worthy of speaking the name. I just know we have a greater purpose, and this is just not it. Like, our purpose here is great. We got to have this, and we got to shout it from the mountaintops. But this is a little bit of time. The rest is eternal. So I'm here for the fight, man. I'm in the fight. I'm in the fight. Candy's in the fight. She's been in the fight. So I love you guys. Candy, would you like to add anything else tonight?
You all too, and I love you the most, Lisa.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. It made me so happy. Honestly, though, that feeling, like just that, it's like, it feels so good to be supported and loved. Does it not, guys? I mean, so if someone's telling you something negative outside of what's going on here, elsewhere, just call one of us or reach out. Just remember, you are loved. You are loved. You are not alone. You are not alone. And we have a calling. There's a call. You remember how narrow that doorway and that gateway entryway is into heaven, right? I mean, it's been talked about, right? Think about terms, and I bet you come up with a different concept after that. It'll be okay. Everything's going to be just fine, right? It's going to be okay. Every little thing is going to be okay. I'm going to get my Jamaican on now.
Every little thing going to be all right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Everybody gonna be okay. All right, guys. Much love to all of you. And smile, because why not? You know, be the light that shines. Safety in the harbor. We don't want to be somebody's anchor that like makes them drown, right? We're here to help. Love you guys. And I guess, Candy, we good?
Yep, we're good.
We're going out, guys.
I'm glad we did the energy leeches tonight.
Yeah. Love you long time, Candy.